Hey guys, this is Nathan Booth, and this is Mobile Player Experience Week 1 Reflection. So, the two games I chose were Avaball Online and, let's see, what was it called? Squabby. Now, Avaball Online is an MMORPG, and Squabby is a tower defense, and both of them were pretty pleasant to play, in my experience. I really liked both of them. I think I liked Avabel more just because really well set up for a 3D MMORPG on a phone. I was very impressed with how well it ran. Anyways, without further ado, I should probably go into how they did on the actual charts. So, Avabel Online got a 16 heuristic score, so just enough to put it into the yellow, while Squabby got a 10. So it's still well in the green. I'll talk about Avabel more because there's more things that moved it over. It didn't have really anything major. For the most part, like I said, it was pretty pleasant to play. But the things where it did have problems, they were things that they were more than just cosmetic issues. So, to start at the top, for screen layout is efficient and visually pleasing. I said it needed to be fixed because it has a lot of controls on it, and I'll show you that real quick. You can see, let's see, do I have a before? So this is actually with a lot of it moved down, but this yellow button right here, you can see where my cursor's at. And this is how it is to default before pressing that. You have a chat box up here, you have a thing over here, and you have a thing down here. So it's very cluttered, and there's no visual cue saying that you should press the yellow button. I'm really just used to MMOs, so I was able to find my way through it without much issue. And it's just kind of fun to try different buttons in a game anyways. But, so if you press that, it makes it where it's less cluttered. But I feel there should be an option to, first that should be default not having a lot of clutter. And then there should also be an option to just permanently not have that clutter there. As you can see, even without it there, you still have a lot. You have your buttons over here. You have your map. You have your health bars, menu. You have your control stick. There's a lot going on, and I feel that could have been handled better than what it was. So my solution is basically just show needed controls whenever they're needed. That's it, and make sure you have an introduction to them so that people know what they are. And that'll make it a lot more efficient, because it was actually a pretty good design to use once I knew what everything did. Terminology, that's something where it was pretty minor because there was a way to view the terminology after a bit, but unless you really dug into it, you wouldn't see that. If you go in here to the help book, eventually you'll have the stuff that talks about skills and status, and that will give you more of the terminology that not everybody would know. But I think that stuff should be kind of there to begin with. For game controls and convenient and flexible. They're well set up, but you weren't really able to change them. So I just gave the note of, give a few different configurations, preset configurations a person can basically switch between. That'd be kind of nice. I know you might have people that are left-handed playing this, and they might prefer to have their buttons on their left thumb. Make it so that they can do that and have their right thumb controlling the control stick or something like that. This is the big one. So the game gives feedback on the player's actions. And for the most part, it did great on this. If you hit something, you got a little damage counter that popped up. There's sounds, a lot of good audio-visual cues for that stuff. But when you're attacking something, or even if you're just selecting a NPC, you don't get anything showing that they're the ones you're targeting. And it also doesn't really lock on them that well, so sometimes you end up hitting other monsters if they're nearby without meaning to. And I feel that this is a big problem. That's why I marked it as it really needed to be done. If you play other games, normally they get highlighted a little bit by like a yellow or a red outline, depending on what they are to you. But you could see right here, my guy is attacking this thing, and there's really no thing saying he's being attacked at all. I mean, even it almost looks like it's the bars, but if you look, all of the bars are highlighted. So even the ones that I'm not doing anything with, they have the bars highlighted. No need to do that. Really, no need to even show the bars on the other creatures. Just show their level. If they're below health, maybe show that they're below health. But really, they should just show the one that you're focused on. And that was my comment for that. And then the final thing, and this was another one where it's two more things. There's another minor and another major. The minor is just does the player have to memorize things unnecessarily? For that, sorry, I'm like switching back and forth all the time. I feel that there should just be an option to have these labeled with what they do. This is jump, this is roll. This switches between what you're seeing here. This is like a rest type thing, and this is a heal thing that you're able to use, and then this is attack. It's kind of obvious, but at the same time, not everybody will get these visual cues, and so there should be an option to have them labeled, or as I go in on the other things, have something that tells them what they are at one point. The game contains help. Now this was kind of a rough one for me because they actually do have a good help book in there. They have a good help thing, but I'll show you, and you won't be able to see it entirely because mine's already relatively filled out from whenever I was playing it. But whenever you start, all you have is controls, equipping, and status, and whenever you click these, they really just give you a paragraph of text, not that much to go based on. It's helpful, but until you really go through more of the game, you don't have your entire help book filled out. And I get maybe giving them a notification about different parts as they get to them, but it should all be there from the beginning. And so that's why I listed it as a major thing. It's not a hard fix for them to really implement. It's just something that would be more convenient for them to have. So my cursor isn't working. And that, I believe, covers all of this part at least. I'm sorry, it's freaking thing. There we go. So totaled out to 16. Like I said, it's very close to the green, so it's not a big deal. And the game is a great game, but these things definitely are things that need to be touched. Everything else, there's nothing. There wasn't even cosmetic problems. Okay. 1 second. There we go. My touchpad doesn't seem to be working properly right now. I don't know if it's due to lag or what, but it's not working right. So now we are now we're looking at the stuff for Squabby, which is a little 2D tower defense, and you can see a lot less things on here. Give the players the option for drag or drop. That was a thing for let me kind of align these so that I can switch between them easily. Okay, so what I'm talking about right there is for these towers right here. You had to press and drag them to the spot. If you missed a spot, it wouldn't get put down. I think there should be an option to either have that there, the drag and drop, or a click the tower you want and then click a spot on the screen. I think that would improve usability from that perspective a lot. Have a track default with no track. Oh, and by the way, that the drag and drop thing was for game controls are convenient and flexible. I just thought that would kind of give it a little more flexibility. The player cannot make irreversible errors. This is kind of fixable, but at the same time, it's also not. If you're in the build mode, where you're building your own level, and you don't lay down any track, these things kind of just wander around. They don't go anywhere, and sometimes they'll end up still getting in there, but they don't even necessarily spawn in the same spot. They don't even always come out of the door. They sometimes spawn like over here. So I thought that was kind of a problem. The player does not have to memorize things unnecessarily. This kind of just goes back into labels. There's really no labeling on these, on what they do. You can kind of visualize it, but until you actually lay them down, like this looks like it could be a variety of things. It's a flamethrower, but you don't necessarily get that right off the bat. So just kind of, again, don't just rely on visual cues of graphics. Also make it so that there's some words. And then the game contains help. There was no help settings. If you look, you know, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's no documentation whatsoever for this game, and I think that was the biggest problem on it, and that's why that got a major. All in all, it got a score of 10, so not half bad. It's still in the green. Let me get back over to my other page real quick. I don't know why it's lagging so much. So, yeah, I mean, I feel a lot of the problems on these two games are pretty easily fixed. None of them are really big deals. They're just things that would be nice for them to acknowledge and change a little bit. So, that's all I've got for both Avabel and Squabby. I really look forward to playing them further over the next couple weeks and digging deeper into how they relate to this chart and usability in general. They're both really fun games, so I lucked out there. Anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying the games you all chose. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you for watching. My name is Nathan. This is Mobile Player Experience 1309. Have a good night. Bye.